Hello, and welcome back to the Barrens. In the spirit of the season, I decided to make today's episode festive. We all know that Santa is the jolly old man who gives presents to good little children. But what about the naughty kids? What do they get? They get a visit from some frightening fellows during the Yuletide season. First up, we have Krampus, the half-goat, half-demon legend that originated in Germany around the 12th century. The word Krampus derives from Krampen, which means claw. He is seen as Santa's counterpart in parts of Germany and Austria, punishing naughty children for their wrongdoings. He is depicted as a furry, horned creature that stands up on either two goat legs or one hoof and one foot, and has a long tongue that hangs from his fanged mouth. He carries around chains that he shakes in order to scare children, and in some depictions, these chains are accompanied by bells of various sizes. In Alpine folklore, Krampus arrives on December 5th, called Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night. The following night would be Nikolostag, or St. Nicholas Day. Children could then check outside for the boots they left out to see if they had gotten candy for being good or a rod for being bad. Krampus is said to be the son of hell from Norse mythology. He would punish bad children by stuffing them in a sack and hitting them with a birch branch. He would also sometimes take them back to his lair, where he would torture or eat them or even drag them to hell. His origins were actually not associated with Christmas and were derived from Germanic paganism. There is an event still celebrated in some parts of Austria, Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, and Czech Republic called Krampuslauf, or Krampus Run. Men will drink and run through the streets dressed as Krampus. They like to scare onlookers and will sometimes chase them. During the 12th century, Catholics tried to remove Krampus from any celebration because of his similarities with the devil. And in Europe during World War II, they found him to be horrible because he was thought to be a creation of the Social Democrats. Ultimately, trying to ban him failed, and Krampus did become connected to the Christian holiday as Christianity spread. Krampus greeting cards, Krampuskarten, were made in the 1890s for a more adult audience. They were lined with Groß von Krampus, greetings from Krampus. And in 2004, an artist by the name of Monty Beauchamp published a set of Krampus cards in America, which is debated as being the first set made in the US. Now, in some parts of Europe, the creature called Knecht Ruprecht was also said to be Santa's counterpart. Unlike Krampus's portrayal, Knecht Ruprecht was a tall, bearded man in a brown or black robe that came to a point at the head. He has a sack at his waist for hauling off bad kids, and in some depictions he has bells attached there so you can hear him coming. Like Krampus, Ruprecht would act as a disciplinarian to disobedient children. He asks kids whether or not they know their prayers after Santa checks his book of names to see what has been written about them. If they say they do, then they receive gifts such as apples, nuts, and gingerbread. If not, then he will use his bag of ashes to hit them. He has also been said to leave switches in the children's shoes for the parents to hit them with, as well as coal and stones instead of gifts. In some folklore, he is said to have started as a farmhand. Others have said that he was a foundling of St. Nicholas raised from childhood, and others still have said that he is a horned dark elf who comes from the forest. In fact, the word Knecht derives from the German word meaning farmhand. In other traditions still, he was described as accompanying St. Nicholas on his ride and watching over him. Ruprecht made his first appearance in text in the 17th century, in a Nuremberg Christmas procession, bringing his name to more attention. Even now, he will make appearances at Christmas events and stores in parts of Germany, keeping the tradition alive. And lastly, we have the Belsnickel. More than just a hilarious office reference, the Belsnickel is another frightening entity associated with Christmas that began around the Middle Ages. His origins come from the Palatinate regions, which were historical regions in Germany. Belsnickel, unlike Santa, made sure kids knew he was coming by tapping on their windows and doors a few weeks before Christmas. He was dressed in tons of fur with disheveled-looking clothes, or in some versions, rags. He is sometimes seen wearing antlers. His name is German, Bels meaning fur, and Nickel, which is St. Nicholas. His job is to decide which kids are good and which ones are naughty a couple weeks before Christmas. He is a warning and a reminder that kids have a chance to turn their behavior around and consider their actions. He travels alone, and when he arrives, is said to have kids perform for him by means of singing or answering questions. He will throw treats at their feet and watch their reaction. Should they quickly reach for the treats, their greed will be met by threats of being hit with his switch. This is also true if they should fail to provide him with any acts of good they had done during the year. But the well-mannered children will be rewarded with treats. His legend was brought to Pennsylvania by the German immigrants, and they hold festivals that feature the Belsnickel as a guest. So these were 3 folklore tales I thought were interesting and perfect for the holiday season. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, please leave any questions or comments below. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and Merry Christmas.
Oh, judgment is nigh, for der Belsnickel ist I. I am nigh. I was born to be Belsnickel.